Okay, there we go. Now we I fucked that up. So I had messed up and had the audio set up wrong. It's probably in the last videos too, because I just realized there was no audio playing. But we're gonna jump into this. This is gonna be my more thorough breakdown for the fifth trailer, and then I'm also gonna go over like the Scarlet Forest, the Oilwell Basin, and then the Monsters tab for the website. So let's go ahead and just jump in. Turn it down just a little more. Like I was saying earlier too, like this right here, you can tell. I think the term is oxidization. Um, you can see a lot of that, like on what I assume to be these metal structures, be it buildings, possibly like temples. Who knows? Honestly, it could even just be rock formations. We can't tell from here. But this is obviously on the way or in Azuz. This looks like a altar of some kind in a way, which is a little strange. Here, I'm actually gonna... Nah, we'll just play it. I think we've seen these herbivores. Kind of studying the background as we go. Oh, whoa, 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 what did I do there? Sorry, that was weird.
Oh, is this it?
Welcome, travelers. I present you Azuz, the Everforge.
Okay, so real quick. Lots of symbols on these. A lot of repeating symbols, actually, so maybe nothing too crazy here. This is a dude from that intro cutscene with the Balahara. At least he looks like it.
Welcome, travelers. I present you Azuz,
Azuz.
the Everforge.
Okay, good. That's what I wanted to pause on. So, let's see here. We've got a lot of ore. Sorry if it annoys you that I'm going to be pausing a lot, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. Okay, this shot's beautiful. A lot of these like clay structures for forging stuff, which is interesting. I'm assuming clay. It could be metal. It's just like at the base, it kind of they kind of remind me of like clay ovens, I think, or clay stoves. So that was probably why I defaulted to that. I'm going to turn it down a little bit more too, because it is kind of loud, at least in my ears. I don't see anything that stands out outside of this little caravan here. Do a quick scan of everything. Nah.
They're starting without us. Just look at that firebrand go.
Oh, so we can actually... Oh, what are these? So these look like... These look like raptors. These, I would assume, just kind of like herbivore, small monster-esque. This, though... What are these? Interesting. It looks like this one has it on its back, not up on its head like these two do. And they're obviously using it as weapons, so this is some kind of... Obviously, I would assume, at least from looking at it, it looks like some form of maybe mineral that has like fused to the body of the creature. Or it's some form of like mutation to horns or something, possibly. And these things are just goopy little lizard boys, it looks like. Lots of bats. One of the little, not detachable, but the things you can latch out to. It's obviously got a cooling effect to it. I can't tell what this is. This might just be like a mine spot or a gathering spot of some sort. Not sure what these little red splotches are. Oh, this is cool. A huge open area. This probably like a boss fight, maybe, or a boss arena or den or something, probably. But then we've also got this oil dripping from this Oilwell Basin. Makes sense, right? The weirder thing, these don't look natural. I mean, they literally look um like pipes. So maybe it is linked to the forge that they're talking about. I mean, it's flowing oil too, or this substance we're assuming is oil because Oilwell Basin. We got some bubblies. So I want to, here, I'll let him come up out of the oil. So this thing is very, okay, this is his den. This thing's interesting. This has the same body structure as hell, what was it called? Hang on. Chemetrice. This guy. Brute Wyvern body, as they've been saying. This thing has the same Brute Wyvern body. But it feels small. It's interesting that Wilds is kind of taking this different approach, because normally we'd get like raptors. So it's kind of cool that they are, sorry, I'm opening some water real quick. It's cool that they're taking a monster that tends to be more like intermediate level and applying it to like introductory. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, Baroth is definitely, like, introductory, but he's still a Brute Wyvern. Like, you'd still end up fighting him fairly early, but he's not on the same level as, like, Raptors. He does more damage, he's faster, he can be very dangerous. He also has, like, that protective layer. These things kind of feel the same way, where they're, like, maybe at the same level as Baroth, but at the same time they also feel very, like, just the look of them. They don't look too powerful, but they look like they present a different twist on things. Like, they're just big enough to where they're not, like, full-blown Brute Wyverns. Because, I mean, when I think Brute Wyvern, obviously, like, first thought, Devil Joe. The next thing would be, like, Glavenus. The next thing would be Uragon. You know, it's these much larger, beefier monsters. These things, they're not really beefy. They're more... What's the word I'm looking for? Introductory is not the right word. They're more, you get what I'm trying to say, though. Like, they're definitely more, simple in their design, while still being their own thing. And what I really like about this monster, like, the more you look at it, like, your first initial reaction to this, here, let me mute here since I'm going to be talking. Your first reaction to this is, what the fuck is this thing as it comes up out of the oil? You kind of notice the very sleek body. Parts of it looks like it's covered in this oil as well. You see the poison coming off of it, the kind of sharp bits on the mouth, the weird bright red eyes. Oh, it's actually... Is this poison? Or is this just like an after effect of the oil it's throwing around everywhere? I'm going to assume poison just because it has the purple effect that poison does. But then the next thing that kind of catches your eye are these bulbous parts on its body, right? And here, let me see if you kind of see it here. Yeah, you kind of see it here in the trailer, watch. So it's got its tail jammed into the oil, right? Here, and I'll slow this down. It has its tail jammed into the oil. And watch the tail, like, deflate. I think it does it along the top of its body, too. So the tail deflates. These are all, like, air sacs all along its body. It does, okay, so it doesn't fully deflate, but it's still, like, pumping air into this pool of oil. And that's what's causing the reaction where you've got a bunch of these huge splotches. So whatever this gas is, be it, poison or just air, it can use that to kind of pump it into the oil and cause these explosions of this mist. Okay, yeah, it has to be poison. It has that very purple effect to it. The tail definitely looks a little deflated. Maybe not so much the body. And there's our Ajarakan, I think was the name. He just yoinked it. Holy shit. Let's speed it up to normal. See, and he just squeezes the shit out of it. That's a bear hug and a half. And this guy, he is a monster in and of himself. I actually did not a kin. I kind of saw it more as like a lemur. Because it's not like a monkey like Kangalala. It is because it has that same body structure like Rajang, Kangalala, Blunganga. But the facial structure is different. And like I said, it reminds me of a lemur. Especially doing this shit. This shit reminds me of Quechawacha. Which I'm kind of hoping we see Quecha again. So he can... Real quick. Did he pull, like, rocks? Lava? So he kind of pulled lava up out of the ground and quote-unquote, lit himself up on fire. That's very interesting. We've got a clash with him. Okay, this is that kind of altar I was talking about. So this leads up to the forge. Gotcha. So let me put it back. Okay, it is on normal speed. Let me unmute it. Not too much to say about Ajarakan, because there's not much shown here. Like, there's the introduction of him grabbing onto Rompopolo, roaring, the swinging around like Quechawacha on these large sections of what look like old decrepit piping. Yeah, that's literally what it is. This is like old rusted over pipes, it looks like. The fact he can kind of like slam into the ground, coat himself in the lava, which I would assume is like a rage state. Alright, so let me go ahead and go back to here. So we don't see anything here that looks out of the ordinary. It's definitely different. I don't think we really see any kind of architecture like this, even in older games. Which I like, because when I see this, my first thought is, did these people come here, like, did they build this? Or did they come here naturally and this was already here? Because it looks more ancient than what the villagers here present.
We back in the fire spring.
Back in the fire springs with our own hands. Sorry, I'm looking around again.
With our own hands.
Okay, and this is the transition to fires everywhere. We've got two monkeys. So these kind of Roman packs. We've got sections of the map where this is like part of the forge and can be used as environmental stuff. I also love this gun lance, by the way. It looks like a syringe, so I'm assuming it's Rompopolo, because going back, its armor had the kind of like plague doctor feel, which, hey, cool beans. I hope they kind of keep that theming with a lot of the weapons, because that's an old school thing. I say it's an old school thing because we didn't see it too much in World. Rise, they kind of brought it back a little bit, but this is like old school, like very first game to 3 and I think even 4, but like first to third game is where I really think of it. For example, like Kezu. If you've played Rise, you've seen the Kezu armor set, and the Kezu armor set's great. Like, it's kind of got that Infirmary Ward kind of feel to it. Now, if you've played Freedom Unite or other games like it, the Kezu armor still has that, but it also has the Gunner set too, which, if I recall correctly, the base version of the Kezu armor looks like you're a patient, like you've kind of got bandages wrapped around you, that kind of stuff like that. But then the Gunner armor actually looks like it has, like it's the nurse or doctor side of it. I always loved the older armor sets, and I was really hoping that Wilds would bring back the split sets. It doesn't seem that that's what they're doing, but I was hoping even like visually they'd bring back, like, you had, like, they could have done it like you have your alpha and beta sets, and basically the alpha is one set and then the beta is like the old school Gunner looking sets. I kind of noticed that with the battle armor, I think that they showed at one point. Let's see. We've got a lot of explosions and whatnot.
We never wanted this to happen.
Never wanted this to happen. So what is the implication of this, right? If these people have been here for a long time, you would assume they've done this before. They do this pretty often, I would imagine. They mentioned in the presentation that this village is known for their crafting, like, or they work as like smiths. So you'd imagine they use this forge a lot. So this is something that maybe isn't necessarily like new to them, but it's something where it causes alarm. And it very likely could be directly linked to this black flame.
No stopping it now. Not once it starts flowing.
Which I just want to point out, the design of this fucking monster is so good. If you have never played Generations or Generations Ultimate, I highly recommend it. There are so many amazing monsters in that game. And then there's also the monster Nakarkos, which I won't show any pictures of it, just to not spoil anybody. But Nakarkos is such a fucking awesome looking monster. And I love that they are trying new things still and coming up with new skeletons. Now, to be fair, and I'll play this a little bit just so we can show it. And also, I want to point this out, because it's moving these around like it can see through these. It also has claws on the end. I didn't notice that the first time I saw the trailer. I did notice it's holding two of the monkeys. I do want to point this out. This is basically an octopus. This is a tar-covered octopus that spews fire everywhere. Fucking awesome. It's brilliant. I love it. Yeah, like, it's just so fucking cool.
This wasn't supposed to happen.
Look at it, dude. It's fucking cool. Oh my god. It's so awesome. The jet flame, it grabs you, does this shit. Yeah, like it's spilling oil. Hang on real quick. I want to go back to this flashback here, because I remember seeing this and was like, what the fuck just happened? So we're gonna pull back a little bit more. Oh yeah, mute. I hate that. So you don't really see anything there, huh? He says the black flame, and he's kind of associating the black flame with this creature. The question is this creature actually the quote-unquote black flame? I would hope that's an insta-kill. I'm a glutton for punishment, man. Let it be. Don't be afraid to insta-kill us. I don't... and for those that don't know, beta. If you have PS5, you'll be able to access it like tomorrow. Yeah. Or no, is this... Oh, pre-download should be tonight. So, beta's tomorrow. If you participate in the beta, you can get this pendant. I won't be able to play until this because I've only got Steam and Xbox. And I'm going to play on both. But, point is, plenty of stuff. Next thing, let's just keep it rolling. Just so it can... Anyone that hasn't seen this stuff, definitely fucking pre-order if you can. The Guild Knight set is so fucking good. I adore this set. It is so good. Hope Charm. Let's see. Is this a, like, health boost? Health boost and, expert? Maybe? I mean, it's obviously a talisman. It's going to give you skills. I'm assuming health boost or, like, medicine. And I'm going off the color. So I probably shouldn't do that. But, yes, Guild Knight. Dude, fucking pre-order. For the Guild Knight alone. I'm not a huge fan of this layered armor. I like the chest. I do like the chest. Don't care for the helmet. The gloves look good. That could probably be good for layered armor. You can't really see the legs. The tasset's kind of meh. It looks good on the cat, though. I like the hat. Oh, kind of the shogun-y look. Yeah, I like that. I don't know if I'd use it, but I like it. It depends on, like, all the colorations you can do. This, as long as it's not, like, the goofy-ass Halloween, set that's in World, because in World it was literally just, like, the front section of the hair and then the horns, and it just looked goofy as fuck. I'm not a huge fan of the eye patch being layered armor, because normally there is an eye patch that you can get. You got a couple of hairstyles, a couple of gestures, the face paint like normal. You get a weapon pendant. I imagine just like the little cat thing, you can put it on the sacred probably. Stickers, cat, kid, Alma, Gemma, and then sacred. I can't tell what this is. It looks like it's probably supposed to be Doshiguma. Yeah, probably. Chada. Oh, that's the Kimatrice or whatever the hell it is. Valahara, and then... I love that. That's Ray Dow. That's so goofy. But it's really funny. Wyverian ears. Nice. People will be happy about that. Background, pose, nameplate for the guild card. Music track is interesting. Yeah. I don't know what this means, unless it means like specifically like if you have a room, it gives you this music track. Cosmetic, DLC 1 and 2. And I think that's it. Oh, then they talk about the versions you get. Now, it does suck that this one's like $110, but hey, man, like, it is what it is. I'm down for it. I'm going to buy it. It's Monster Hunter, man. I'm buying it. Save data, you get your World and Iceborne sets for your Palico. Excuse me. But yeah, that's basically everything we have for the trailer itself for Breakdown. At least that's what I could notice from it. I kind of dove into speculation and stuff, but hey, it is what it is. We try to have fun. Scarlet Forest. So this is something I wanted to mention again, just because I have talked about it before. I think this is a reimagining of the map from 4U. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. If you haven't seen it yet, not my breakdown of the gameplay, but the breakdown of the trailer for the Scarlet Forest, check that out. I believe I have it titled as 4U comparisons, like as the end of the title. And there, I don't have it timestamped, but I'll probably go back through and timestamp at least that, because I do feel like this game is supposed to be somewhat of a spiritual successor to 4U, because there's just too many fucking similarities to other maps. So Scarlet Forest, Following the river found in the Windward Plains, you will lead you to the verdant Scarlet Forest with its towering trees and abundant water. As you take your first steps here in your journey, your eyes are drawn to the peculiar red color water found on the forest floor. This land experiences an inclemency known as the downpour, a torrential rainstorm that floods the surrounding area. I do also want to point out this red coloration is likely due to the Oilwell Basin. That would be my assumption. I'm pretty certain of it. Let's look at the monsters real quick for it. Look at Lullabarina first, because I fucking love her. She's great. Temnosarian that resides in the Scarlet Forest. Its thorax, which can be opened at will, resembles a rose in bloom. It does have those paralytic things that it throws out as well. The armor set looks good. This is paralyzed weapons too, so I'm like, whoo boy, love it. Love it to death. I love her so much. I love the design. I hope Nursilla comes back, because man, give me more bugs. Duna. This is its territory, and we're intruders. A leviathan that rules the Scarlet Forest as its apex predator. It has adapted to water-rich environment and is sighted most often during the downpour. It makes use of the moisture with it and its own bodily fluids to create a protective veil around itself. So very similar to Namiel in some aspects, but Duna is chunky, as we've seen. It does have that special attack in that one section of the map. Very beautiful monster, in my opinion. Very interesting. Hopefully it means we can see some other Leviathans coming back. I personally, and I just want to mention this because personally, I don't want to see Lagiacrus come back unless we have underwater combat, but I am understanding of people that want Lagiacrus back. It is a great monster. I personally do love Lagiacrus, but to me, I personally do not want to see it come back unless we have underwater combat, just because it adds that extra layer to Lagiacrus, which it deserves. So now, we got the Woodwood Hideout. A Linnean tribe called Woodwoods inhabit the Scarlet Forest. Tucked away deep in the forest is the Woodwood Hideout, where the creatures reside. They kind of showed this a little bit. I actually do like that they have this kind of stuff, because it does make the world feel more immersive, more lived in, being able to talk with all of them, everything like that. And it's like a variation of the races of Linneans, which is fucking cool. Oilwell Basin. Let's go back to the first image here. Yep. We saw that. We saw that. Again, like your rust-covered piping. Excuse me. You got that oil spot. This is when things are warm. See? Yeah, so during this segment of time, this is after the fires, everything's kind of like rusted over. It's got that real red colory, which definitely would leak down into the Scarlet Forest. That's what causes the red waters. Volcanic region where oil wells and raging fire burns, home to unique creatures that have adapted to its harsh environments. Azuz, the Everforge. The village of Azuz formed around its large forge. So that actually kind of does pull me back to the idea that these people are not native to this area. They came here at some point and settled in. Interesting. Okay. That's my thought on it. They've come here and built around the forge. Okay, so very interesting. Okay. Let's look at our monsters. Let's start with Rompopolo. A brute wyvern. See, this is what I'm saying. Brute wyvern. Like, it's not that big. It definitely does not give off the same aura as like Rodobon, Uragon, Brachydios, Deviljo, any of those large brute wyverns. This is a smaller brute wyvern. The same with the Chemetries. Like, they are smaller brute wyverns, and I like that. It adds that extra that's what I was thinking. It adds that extra tier of like the food chain. Because something like this, I wouldn't think would stand a chance against something like a Baroth. Now, granted, depending on if it has poison or sleep gas or something, maybe it could, actually. It also has very, like, needle-like appendages. It could get in underneath a lot of Baroth's protective hide and armor and stuff. So, but I still wouldn't put it on the same level as a Baroth. I see a Baroth as a heavy hitter. This thing, while probably being able to hit pretty hard, I don't see it hitting as hard as a Baroth. Let's go ahead and go back, though. So, Ajarakan. A fanged beast characterized by the flame-like protrusions that cover its body. So, this is my question with this big boy. It's hard to tell, but it almost looks like this stuff is, like, malformed scales that kind of, like, as it just grows, it grows them and they kind of, like, die, and it just becomes, like, this protective husk around it. So it's very interesting. I also love the idea that they, like, threw a Magnamalo-esque tail on it, because it's just, like, big monkey, big tail. I love it. I love the design of him. Black Flame. So, known to the people of Azuz as the Black Flame, it reigns as the apex predator of this region. Okay, that's all we get. And that could be because maybe they'll have some other trailer talking about it more or something. Or they want to keep it shrouded in mystery because it has more to the story than you would think, maybe. And I do want to go ahead and go over Arkveld because, god damn, this monster looks so good. A monster known among the Commission as the White Wraith, described as having unique chain-like appendages extending from its wings. A species long thought to have been extinct, its ecology remains shrouded in mystery. You can't really tell from here either. There was one image that was floating around that made it look like it had chains like coming off of its body here, and then another set like off of where that elbow joint would be. So, see, and then you also see this. You don't really see the chain-like appendage here at all. Unless this is it here. Like it can, yeah, actually, that might be it. Like it can, oh, maybe that's what it is. Maybe this thing doesn't have actual, well, no, because it's flying around at sections. What the fuck? I'm gonna have to look at the video where they showed this again later. Because I want to say we see him, like, flying in. And my thought here was like, okay, so he has one chain that kind of like can reconnect all in one segment and it juts out from that arm. And then there's this. This looks like another one here. But if that's the case, these would kind of like be the wings, right? Unless this fur kind of goes like all the way up the arm and can kind of congeal with the wings. I don't fucking know, man. It's weird. It's a weird design, but I love it. So, yeah, that's everything I can think to go over. I plan on doing other stuff. It's just at the moment school shit. I'm going to be doing a lot of the beta though if I can. I'm going to be trying to play it as much as possible and recording as many hunts as possible. Me and my buddy are probably going to be playing it a lot, so look forward to that. I need to try and jump back onto 4U, it's just I haven't had the time to. But I do plan on finishing it. I'm not too far off from beating the G rank stuff, so hopefully I can get everything all sorted out and find the time to be able to do that with this next month, because it seems like a lot of my stuff is going to be much simpler, and I'm fine with that. But hopefully you enjoyed. Look forward to more. There's going to be more stuff coming, especially with this beta within the next couple days. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.